I don't know why, I just feel like making a video. Um, Mad shout out to my girl Megan Rapinoe. Mad shout out to my girl Megan Rapinoe. Ah, ba, 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 ba. I love you so much, Megan Rapinoe. Megan Rapinoe, such a badass. Love you, Megan Rapinoe. You know, one time Megan Rapinoe, which is like one of my favorite people in the world, she was on Rachel Maddows. And Rachel Maddows is gay, and Megan Rapinoe's gay. And God, they had such great chemistry. And I was like, it would be great if Megan Rapinoe married Rachel. Uh, what's her name? It'd be phenomenal. Rachel Maddows. Yeah, it would be great if she married Rachel Maddows, dude. I'd be like, oh my God, greatest couple ever. But Megan Rapinoe's with Sue Bird. She's like this famous like basketball player. And I don't know who Rachel Maddows is married to or with. But those two, man. God, they're so cool. And for all you people out there that do not like Rachel Maddows, understand that other than her political ideas or statements or what she tries to do for the world, she's still like a badass, man. The fact that she like is just this, gay lady that's not like super uberly attractive and she's on the news. Mad props to her, dude. Because most people that are on the news are like super hot, blonde hair, like Fox News girls, like, oh, like even like local channels of news, like the women are like ridiculously like model like. They're like all like supermodels. It's just like, dude, these are not like normal average women. Like the average woman in the world, like let's say like 90% of women out there are like just they're just like, yeah, they're like me or you or something, whatever. And then you watch like the news and there are these like supermodel women on that are like not even probably 4% of the overall world population. And they're giving us our news. And they're on our commercials and in movies and TV. It's so weird. But I think one of the reasons for that, my sister told me this because my sister, she's just the coolest psychology, she just loves knowledge, being informed, TED Talks and all that stuff. She really geeks out on that stuff, kind of like I do with psychology and spirituality. She is more like TED Talky, like basic cool stuff. And she told me that when people see good looking people, serotonin or dopamine actually fires off in their brain when they see an attractive person. And they become happier when they see attractive people. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. So, when you see a hot person or like a really, really attractive person, you actually get happy because the brain releases dopamine and serotonin, or dopamine or serotonin. I don't know which. Which. And you become happier when you see an attractive person. So, if you really think about it, if you want better ratings for your TV program, or for your news network, or your news program, or your commercials, or magazines, or catalogs, whatever it is, you are going to most likely put an attractive person in there to get better ratings or to get more people to buy your stuff, because when people see that attractive person, the serotonin or the dopamine kicks off in the brain and makes that person happier by watching that person on the TV screen or the movie or the commercial or the TV show or the magazine or catalog, and it creates them to be happier, so they're going to come back and want to see that person again and again and again. It's fascinating. The good-looking person might also be have a good personality, but it's interesting to note. But to get back to it, Megan Rapinoe is by far the greatest human being of all time. Megan Rapinoe, if you are watching this video, you are the greatest person of all time. I love what you've done for the world, for soccer. I love the fact that you're standing up right now, even though the court system is like, no, you can't have more money, blah, 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 blah. When we all know that female athletes are getting severely underpaid, especially in the WNBA for basketball and for USA soccer, or soccer all over the world, and sports all over the world for that matter, women are deeply underpaid. It's BS, man. So, as somebody that likes sports, that, you know, I don't watch sports because I don't do that kind of thing. I just, you know, brush up on my sports knowledge, just so I have something to have in common with normal humans, and because I'm like very spiritual. And it's hard for me to relate to people, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm so basically entrenched in psychology and spirituality. When I go to Walmart or Publix or, you know, shopping centers or whatever, like, and I run into somebody, I really don't have that much to talk about. So I know most people are obsessed with sports, so I brush up on my sports knowledge pretty much like every night for 20 minutes, just to have something something relatable to talk to about people. Because I never talk about religion, I never talk about politics, I never talk about what somebody does for work. I stay away from those three arenas because they could trigger disagreement or dislike towards two individuals, or expectations, or control, or non-accepting others. Since those three topics are very fishy. I also stay away from talking about children. You know, do you have any kids? You know, what if the person had a miscarriage? So I don't talk about that either. So I stick to simple things. Like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Oh, you're wearing a Boston Red Sox shirt. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I heard that they just got that new pitcher. Simple stuff, man. That's how you make friends, not enemies. I also have the outlook that I shouldn't be changing anybody. It's not my right or avenue to change people. And if somebody's watching, say I'm a Republican and I don't like liberals, and somebody's listening to NPR all day, or they're listening to BBC all day, like the BBC, and they're diehard liberals, and they watch those programs for 5-6 hours a day. Now, if they're watching that program and they're listening to that news and that train of thought for 5 or 6 hours a day, and that's all they're listening to, it's going to be really heavy in their mind that is correct, that is the way. So if I'm a Republican and I approach them and I'm like, hey man, like, I see you wearing that like liberal t-shirt, or you got that liberal bumper sticker on your back seat. Let me tell you that, like, my way is the best and Trump rules, and let me tell you why. If I approach you in that demeanor, or even if I say, hey, let's talk about your views and my views. I'm a Republican, you're a liberal, it seems, so let's like talk this through. Whatever I say in those 15 minutes of that conversation, if the conversation even lasts 15 minutes, or even an hour, if the conversation lasts in an hour, regardless of the things that I say, you are most likely either going to be closed-minded about it, not be open-minded to new ideas. You're not really going to be hearing me, and you're just going to be waiting for your turn to speak. You're not going to be present and engaged in listening. Because, as Carl Rogers would always say, the only way for a person to be open-minded to change is if they admit that there's something wrong with their life and they do in fact have a problem, or they see that there's something wrong. So in order to change someone's mind, political views say, or religious views say, you would have to have an extremely good argument, because they are being manipulated or having words or ideas thrown at them for 5 or 6 hours a day when they're listening to these liberal programs or Republican programs or religious ideas or conceptions. And they've probably been that way for a very long time. Maybe they've been that way for their entire life, or maybe even years. Are you going to change that person in 15 minutes? 1 hour? Who knows? Maybe you could. Maybe you couldn't. Anything's possible, but I don't know. See, if my sister was watching this, she might say, like, well, how are we going to change the world? I don't know. I don't know if anybody has that answer. It's uncertain. Anyways, guys, I hope you have a tremendous Sunday. I hope you're doing well. And I hope you do something meaningful today and you enjoy your life and your present. You spend time with loved ones. And you're getting through this coronavirus. I'm kind of like Voldemort. I don't give it a name. You know, like whatever they call it on the news, like COVID. I don't do that. I don't believe in the Voldemort stuff. So, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I just call it the coronavirus because, you know, I used to really like Corona beer, and you know, it's more, you know, uplifting for me to say Corona instead of like COVID 573. It's kind of creepy to say that. It kind of sounds like a zombie apocalypse virus, you know. Anyways, just trying to keep things light. Anyways, guys, have a great night. Make Rapinoe rules. Take care, guys. Love you.